Hi everyone, another of my not so deep dives coming up. I'm going to look at Leap today. If you're wondering why we're going in this particular order, Spirit of God and Leap is at the minute a couple of songs I'm looking at because we're doing them for a concert which is associated with a special birthday that's coming up for me. So, yeah, there's no kind of chronology or any other reasoning as to that. So, I thought because I've been practicing this song now. I thought it would be interesting to have a look at this. This was one of the later songs that I did over that choir period. I think this is of the Christmas songs. I think this was the last one I wrote, along with Wait Is Over and You Child. But I think they were already in progress. But this one was quite quickly done, just because as I was looking at the texts as to which characters I had not spoken about around the Christmas story, Elizabeth came up. So this is essentially Elizabeth's song. Elizabeth, who is the mother of John the Baptist, who is considered to be a herald or someone who brings in or announces who Jesus is going to be. Part of the narrative is that the special person who's coming will have a herald of some kind to announce their arrival. So the riff came, and I love these kind of stacked fourths. So, and then making that into a riff. Yeah, playing that kind of stacked fourths across the keyboard. So what we have there is a groove. This tone is not the right one, but I can't get the right tone on this keyboard. The tone is more kind of a wah clavy feel, which gives it a little bit of that Stevie Wonder kind of reference there. And in fact, if you listen to the recording, you that drum beat at the beginning is again reflecting of a Stevie Wonder piece. And the recording, actually, of all the ones we recorded, that was my favorite recording in terms of the production value, and that was totally down to Anurag doing a good mix of that. And obviously, Anurag also played guitar, which also gave the song its character, I think. Yeah, so this is Elizabeth's song. Elizabeth, who is giving birth to John the Baptist, the herald. And now, listening back to it, there is a sense in which there is a kind of a herald movement in here, which happens from the left hand to the right hand. Is a kind of a mirroring, a reflection of what's going on. But also, I think it communicates to me that John has a particular understanding of what he's heralding. But what is actually going to come will be that, but much more. So maybe it's overanalysis, but hey, that's what this kind of thing is for. And the song pretty much came quite quickly in terms of the verses and the chorus, and in that sense it's a more traditional kind of pop structure, which is a little bit unusual for a lot of the things I wrote. As you can remember, some of them are very large songs or some of them are very short songs, and this seemed to follow a more traditional format of the pop song, not contemporary pop, because contemporary pop has changed its format quite a lot compared to the noughties. So you have a solo sung brilliantly by Manila, though I don't think I got the right key for her, and this is always an issue. I don't maybe choose the right key for the vocalist. But again, you live and learn. So Elizabeth then sings to Mary, Mary, you just won't believe what's happened to us now, and then talks about Zachariah, who doesn't understand what's going on and therefore is struck dumb. And then the chords go away from the riff into, I think in the previous video I said about that the Spirit brings something fresh, and I think I'm trying to maybe communicate that through the chords here. This is what the Lord has done. Look to me with favor, wiped away by disgrace. You're among my people. I've chosen all major chords, which is unusual because I like the minor, but they're all major chords. So as I was playing this, I was thinking of maybe also another kind of a way to interpret that, because it's fairly straight in the recording. Look to me with favor. So instead of that, what if I did? Possibly might do that, we'll see, because again, didn't have that much time to develop the song. It was pretty much making sure that the whole structure held together. So from there, then Elizabeth has said what she's feeling about the fact that her shame has been removed because she was barren for a long time and now has a child. And then we move to the chorus, and again in the chorus, which is leap. Why leap? Because in the story of the text, when Elizabeth and Mary meet, the baby in Elizabeth's womb jumps or leaps. She says, the baby leapt in my womb. I wanted some kind of a sense of that leap, and that leap is for me a chordal kind of a leap, but in that the chord is an F sharp of some kind, but a slightly odd version of F sharp. It's got a sharpened fourth, but the key is in C. So in terms of the relationships of notes within the whole key and stuff, F sharp is the most out of scale note. And if you're really nerdy, you would have heard that maybe the church at some point banned this interval of having this sharpened fourth or flattened fifth. So the song is like, and the chorus is, so leap, leap for joy, the voice flows deep within, shout, shout aloud, barren ground is filled with the joy of the Lord. So the chorus has this shift and kind of a shifting sense. So that's the kind of idea there in terms of maybe how the chord is telling, the harmonies are telling the story. I've also thought of maybe modifying the chorus. In some sense, songs are never really finished. There's always arrangements and modifications that can happen. So I was wondering in the chorus whether you could modify it by adding a little bit of a riff there. I'm just playing with different ideas still with the song, as a way of again communicating maybe the joy that might be expressed at this point. And so then the song goes that ends filled with the joy of the Lord, and then the kind of favorite, some kind of do-do-days happening, right? Do-do-do-day, do-do-day, do-do-do-day, do-do-day, do-do-do-day, do-do-day, do-do-do-day, do-do-day, right? Just again, instead of having a horn section, we just use the choir as the horn section. And then we come into verse 2, and verse 2 is solo, but then has got the women backing, because the words is saying, blessed are you among women. So it's then showing that the women are in some kind of supporting what Elizabeth is saying, because Elizabeth is addressing Mary at this point. So she's not talking about herself as much from the first verse. She's now talking to Mary, and she's just happy that Mary is also going to have a child. So that's the kind of the sharing of the women, that the women are sharing the joy of that moment, of the promise that's to come, but also the fact that they are going to be the literal bearers of this good news, the promise, the hope of what's to come. So that verse goes in that direction. We go back to the pre-chorus again, is enjoying the moment, and then back to leap. So leap goes through the whole chorus, and ending with filled with the joy of the Lord. Back to the do-do days, do-do-do day, do-do day, do-do-do day, do-do day, do-do-do day, do-do day, do-do-do day, do-do day. And then Anurag does a brilliant solo over that, which really maybe expands or extends the joy that has been expressed through the words. And a lot of what he's using is a bit of the, so he uses that pentatonic, which the do-do-do-day is always, so he's reflecting back the do-do-do-days, I think, in the solo bit, leading into what is what I could call a bridge of sorts, which is a more of a prog rock kind of a riff. Right? And then everyone comes back on the do-do-do-days, right? But now the chords have changed. We're no longer back in the old riff. So it goes do-do-do-day, do-do-day, do-do-do-day, do-do-day, da, do-do-do-day, do-do-day, do-do-do-day, do-do-day, da, do-do-do-day, do-do-day. And I was reflecting maybe why that was. Again, I'm not sure that I had a conscious intention, but thinking about the song and where the story is going, I think it is a reflection of the darkness that is to come in terms of how both these babies are going to die. Yeah, babies and death. Obviously, we have Hush. That's another story, but I think there is something about that. You have the joy and the hope for this moment, and that's amazing, but there is also some darkness to come. But I think that's what these chords are signifying. Do-do-do-day, do-do-day, do-do-do-day, do-do-day, da, do-do-do-day, do-do-day, do-do-do-day, do-do-day, do-do-do-day, do-do-day, do-do-do-day, do-do-day, da, do-do-do-day, do-do-day, do-do-do-day, do-do-day. And then the men come in with altos then join in on that. And then the rhythm then changes also. So we've had these minorish chords coming in, and so I feel that that suddenly just slows down a little bit, isn't it? It goes half time with the sopranos singing. Can I reach that note? No, I can't. And then you're all holding the note. And Elizabeth sings, "We are filled, we are filled, we are filled." So a bit of a dramatic moment, a bit of a theatrical moment, I would think, in that, I love the drama, darling, but it's like an ending spotlight where you have everyone dancing and so on, and then it slowly, the side characters peel away, and then it's just the main character, and so now the spotlight is just on Elizabeth again, where we are filled. So it is just a kind of sonic representation of a spotlight. because when we record, we have lots of reverb, or some reverb at least in the voice and so on. And at that point, I did say let's just make it as dry, and so it's just going to sound a little bit close and just natural. So yeah, so that is the kind of basic thoughts about Leap. So yeah, would be interested to hear what your memories of that song was, or when you're listening back to it, what comes to you as well. Thanks, everyone.